Hey there, corporate misfits, and welcome to the series Mastering Kajabi in 21 Days. I'm so excited to share with you about how you can use Kajabi in your online coaching, your course creation, or membership business so that you can build a life of freedom and stop trading time for money. So if you are new around here, my name is Brittany Darrington, and I'm the founder of the Corporate Misfit community, and I help women to build their online business using platforms like Kajabi so that they can automate, create sales with ease, and ultimately build their courses and coaching business and sharing their expertise with their tribe. So in this series, we're going to talk all about how to use Kajabi inside and out, the perks of using Kajabi, and how it can really change your life. So if you have not tried out Kajabi yet, I do have a trial which supports this channel. And also you can get some amazing resources such as landing pages that we have designed for you, such as sales pages, thank you pages, opt-in, and also some registration and tripwire pages. In addition to that, you can get access to our mini training, which is our beta launch club, which allows you to learn how to launch an online course or a coaching business in just 30 days. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive right into what we're going to talk about in today's lesson. Okay, I am so excited because I'm going to take you behind the scenes on how you can use Kajabi step by step. We're going to dive in deep. We're going to go into the website area, the pipelines. We're going to even go to how you can get your landing pages up in no time and so much more. So in this deep dive, get ready to see all behind the scenes of Kajabi and hopefully you start to utilize it in your business. Okay, so I want to walk you through how you can use Kajabi step by step so that you can be able to quickly build your website, your landing pages, your online course, and so much more. Okay, so let's get started. Before you dive into creating a product or a website or getting your marketing going or setting up your offers, the most important thing that you want to do first is go to the settings area. Now, the settings area will allow you to properly input your brand hex colors, include the marketing information such as domains and things like that so that you're not having to go back and do it later. This will save you a ton of time, especially when it comes to designing. So I do recommend that you get this taken care of before you start building things out because you'll have to keep coming back to this area. So let's walk through what you'll need to do in the settings area. You can find the settings area at the very bottom of your screen in the left-hand corner. And what you're going to want to do once you're here is make your way to site details. Now, site details allow you to include information about your pages and also update your brand hex. So the great part is once you're in, you're definitely going to want to input your information of what your business name is. Also, if you have a support email, and then you want to make your way to identifying what is going to be your home page. Is it going to be the website or is it going to be the landing pages that you have in order to identify what your home page is going to be if you choose to have one? You'll also want to plug in your logo, your icon that you're going to have within your Google or any of your tabs that you have open. Like for example, Kajabi has their small icon here. So you'll want to input this. If you don't have one, you can easily create one in Canva. And then you'll also want to go ahead and enter in all of your brand colors. Again, I'm telling you this from experience, it will save you a ton of time because you'll be able to quickly access your brand colors whenever you're updating pages rather than having to input the hex number every single time. Now, I also recommend plugging in your instructor headshot and also plugging in your name and your title. So then when you are creating your online courses and things along those lines, it's really easy to fall into the default with your image and also your title, and you don't have to keep updating it every time. And also page scripts. This is really great if you have anything such as a page script from maybe Facebook, Pinterest. Maybe you're going to connect your website to some of these different social media platforms or ads or things along those lines. You'll definitely want to plug this in here because this becomes your header and allows Kajabi to be basically read from these other platforms, and these other platforms are able to connect the dots when they're able to see the header and whatnot. So add this into your header script. If you don't want to add it in here, this will basically add it into every single page. But if you don't want to add it in here, what you can do is you can go to the coding on the back end. But depending on what access you have on Kajabi, so for example, I'm on the pro version of Kajabi. If you're on the growth or on the basic, you're not going to be able to access your coding unless you have something called Kajabi Access. So if you don't have Kajabi Access, you're not going to be able to find your coding area unless you have Kajabi Pro or you add on the feature of Kajabi Access. For SEO, you'll definitely want to plug in, again, what the title of your overall business is called. So for example, we are the Corporate Misfit Club. So we have Brittany Darrington / the Corporate Misfit Club. And we also include some information helping women to build a freedom-bound business with coaching and consulting. So we include that information here. It makes it really simple for us to be found. And also this is what you're going to start to see in the Google area once your page becomes searchable and also starts to rank within Google and some of the other platforms that exist. Now from here, I would recommend having a photo that you can share. So if anyone were to ever share your website, there is a photo being shared versus just having your area blank and it just has the title and a URL to go to a page. So I would recommend having like some sort of mock-up, whether it's a picture of yourself or some pictures of your products and overall brand, things like that. You do want to add this in so it's not so boring whenever you are sharing links and through social media and there's a little picture that will appear. Now, if you choose to have displayed by Kajabi, you can keep that on or turn it off. Again, you do have to have either the growth or the Kajabi Pro to turn this off. So if you don't have growth and you don't have Kajabi Pro, it won't allow you to do that. You will have to keep powered by Kajabi. It doesn't really bother me. I do have the option to turn it off, but for me, I love and promote the heck out of Kajabi, so I keep mine on. Once you're done, hit save, and then you are rocking and rolling. And now we can make our way back to some of the other things that you'll need to take care of. So site details is good to go. Now, if you're choosing to have a blog, you'll also want to go in and just plug in your information for the blog. So what's your blog title name? What's your blog going to be about? And also, if you can, include a mock-up of your blog so that it will ultimately be able to be shared and not have just a title and a description. It will also have an image for the people who are visual and hopefully catch their eye and bring them back to your blog. Payment integrations. Now, this is where you're going to set up your Stripe and your PayPal account. So if you are not using both, perfectly fine. You can choose one or the other, but I do recommend using both because I have some people who absolutely love using PayPal. They want to use maybe some of the credits they already have in that platform. Or I have people who are like, I don't want to use the PayPal platform. I enjoy using Stripe. I want to get points. I want to be able to use this type of card, all of that kind of stuff. So I want you to decide which one works best for you or choose both and then connect the dots. If you're going to set up a Stripe account, I do recommend already having a Stripe and also already having a PayPal. So then when you're connecting them, you're not having to sit and start from scratch. Okay, now we want to make our way to the domain. This is where if you have a domain and you don't want it to say, for example, this is my Kajabi partner domain. So I'm in a dummy account right now. But if you want to have your proper domain, let's say BrittanyDarrington.com, what you would do is go to setup custom domain, and wherever your domain is located, whether it's GoDaddy, Bluehost, some of the other domains that exist out there today, different domain companies that you can create a domain with, you will go ahead and set that up and follow the instructions step by step so that ultimately you will be able to have your domain versus the Kajabi default domain that is provided for you. Now, mobile app settings. Now, this is something you can always come back to, but one thing that you can do if you want to go ahead and get started with it is you want to go ahead and set up your color palette for what your customers are going to experience when they're on their mobile app. So if there's a color that's going to be close to your brand, I would go ahead and include that. Include an icon that you might want to have. And then also too, if you want to have a member library banner, or if you want to have any swipe copy, things like that to share with your audience to get them to join your actual mobile version of your Kajabi products. Okay, so now that we have that batch, let's make our way to marketing. Marketing settings, this is really great for you to go ahead and plug in all of your marketing details. So put your company name, your address of your business. Please note that this does show on your emails. So if you can, make sure that you have a address. If you have like a PO box or a mailbox, maybe you don't have a physical business, perfectly fine. But just know that sometimes people put their home address here, they don't think about it, and then their home address is being sent out to people within their email address. So make sure you include the proper address here. Your company logo. So we usually input our logo every single time because we use multiple different logos for our business. But ultimately, if you have just one logo, I recommend just going ahead and plugging that in so that it's always there. You don't have to sit and go back and forth adding your logo. You also want to add in your Kajabi email domain. So if you have a specific domain that is not going to be through kajabi.net, so for example, info@Brittany Darrington, that's a real email address. And basically, I don't want it to have .net associated with it. So though I would put this information here, I would also come down to where it says custom email domain, and I would plug in my information and follow the proper steps to ensure that we are utilizing info@BrittanyDarrington.com versus info@BrittanyDarrington via kajabimail.net. From my experience, as well as my clients' experiences, sometimes if you have that .net and the Kajabi mail, people don't always know, like, who did this come from? You know, if they reply back, it's kind of like, whose email is this? So I like to just have the proper email there, which is our info@Brittany Darrington. So you could come down to custom email domain and you are rocking and rolling. As always, hit save so that you don't lose any of your contact information. Now let's make our way to drip settings. So drip settings is basically if you're going to drip any content, such as a membership, any post along the lines of within your product, this is where you're going to put what time it's going to drip so that every time it hits the specific day that you have chosen, you can then drip your content appropriately at that time. Now, for third-party integrations, this is where maybe you don't want to use Kajabi for everything. Maybe you have ConvertKit or Drip or MailChimp or Aweber, ActiveCampaign, things like that for your email marketing. You can come here and connect the dots and follow instructions on how to do that, including like an API key, a secret key, and things along those lines. For analytics, maybe you want to install your Kajabi your Facebook pixel for Kajabi, your Google Analytics, which I highly recommend you do. And maybe you have some additional different types of tracking that you have. So you can come here and select what you're using, select all of them, and then enter in the information. Zapier, if you are using different zaps to help you to be able to properly, connect the dots between some of the things that you have within your business to help things run smoothly, then you can definitely do that as well. And you can connect your Zapier or Zap, however you call it, Zapier, Zapier, whatever. ClickFunnels, again, if you have a sales funnels that you're not using necessarily in Kajabi, you can connect that here. Once you're done, hit save, and everything should be rocking and rolling for your third-party integration. If you don't see something here, I do highly recommend that you use Zapier to help you to connect the dots between the different applications and programs that you may be using. All right, form settings. So this is going to basically identify what information, what fields you want to have. If you have any custom fields that you want to add in, you can go ahead and do so. So I want you to really think through maybe what forms you already have or what questions do you want to include in a lot of stuff so that you can add it now versus trying to do it later. And then also, if you want to have a single opt-in where people have to get an email before they get their original email you plan to send them, get an email that says, yes, I want to opt into this person's email list, then what you'll do is you'll turn this on, and basically before it sends anything out, it will ask for the terms and services to ensure that this person opted in for this form versus just you signing them up. Again, once you're done, hit save, and that will help you to stay on track and ultimately not lose anything. All right, now let's look at labs. So this is where you can come to this area and you can have different features added to your account. So Kajabi will put some things that maybe they're working on, they're still in process, and maybe they're not officially released yet, but you can come here and actually turn on some of those offer experiences and utilize them within your particular account if you choose. Now we're going to make our way to checkout settings. This is where you are going to enable email list opt-in. So for example, if someone does not check a box whenever they go to checkout, it doesn't automatically include them into the email list. What happens from there is it gives them the option to say, I know I purchased this product, but I don't know if I want to be on your email list. So you can have that option unchecked, or you can check it to where it's automatically defaulted, where people automatically go into your email list no matter what. And if they want to unsubscribe, they can. Or you can disable it where it just doesn't even appear. It automatically go to your email list again. It doesn't really matter. You can have that option for them. So you can either have it unchecked where they get to choose. You can have it pre-checked where it's already checked for them, but they can also uncheck it again. Or you can disable it to where they automatically go to your email list. Maybe you want to have some specific information. If someone were to join your email list, you can plug that in here. Subscribe to our email or be on our newsletter so you can get your products and all of the information that we promised you, so that people are likely to keep it checked versus uncheck that particular box. So come here and look at some of the different things such as card storage opt-in, webhooks, checkout tracking. This is really going to be for if you're utilizing any Facebook ads or any ads in general. You do want to include some of this information if you want to collect all of that data. All right, so now we're going to make our way to member payments. So member payments, this is where you can allow people to cancel their own subscriptions. If you don't want them to cancel their own subscriptions, maybe you want them to send you an email instead, you can do that by just toggling this off and you're good to go. But if you don't mind them canceling on their own, which I personally don't, then you can easily just let them go into their account and they're good to go. Okay, email templates. So these are some of the default emails that Kajabi is going to provide for you. So maybe if you have affiliate announcements, if you have affiliate notifications, assessments, all that kind of stuff. If you have these types of emails that you plan on utilizing, then you might want to come and check this because some of the content is a little more basic. It's very kind of bland. So I like to add more personality and vibe to it. So for example, if someone were to join, let's say they forgot to get their purchase. They filled out the information, but they didn't necessarily put in their credit card and buy. What you do is you go to edit. And so you can change that default setting and maybe say, instead of hey there, hey girl, hey corporate misfit, we noticed you didn't purchase, but didn't finalize your offer, and add some more like spunk to it. Maybe you sign off instead of your site, you sign off like, hey, from Brittany, things like that. So that ultimately allows you to have a better connection with your audience and not sound like a robot in some of these default emails. Okay, so go through that, identify what you want to change and hit save once you're done. Now let's look at your static pages. So this is going to be your about us, your terms, your policy. You don't necessarily have to do this here. I recommend sometimes just doing this actually in your website landing page section because it's easier for you to get to and manage. But if you do want to do that here, you can hit edit and even preview what that looks like beforehand, and then utilize it in your websites as you're creating things. So that's pretty much it in the settings area. I would go ahead and get that taken care of so that you're not having to basically keep coming back to this area to get things going. Some other things to be able to check out in this area are your account details, your billing, your Kajabi access. Maybe you want to upgrade, change your passwords. If you want to add people to your account, you can do that through account user. Notifications, maybe you don't want to receive a ton of emails, or maybe you don't want to receive comments when people leave comments in your products. You can turn that off here. And also account tracking and contact information. So utilize this area, get it all set up before just jumping into all of this, because ultimately you're going to have to keep making your way back here anyway. Okay, so let's get started with website. Websites are really amazing because this is a feature that can help you to have everything all in one. But usually what happens, a lot of people get caught up with like, how do I make a website? So I'm going to give you a few options. I'm going to give you an option in a few minutes to show you how you can make a website through landing pages, which has, for me, a little bit more freedom. And I'll also show you how you can make it here just within the website design area. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to browse the themes. This is one of the easiest ways for you to quickly get your online course up and going and your actual website up and going in no time. So they have now added some amazing different features in here to choose from. And ultimately you can come and pick one of these themes and just plug in the pictures and the content. You can follow the template to the T. So I'm just going to go ahead and select this particular template. I think it's pretty. It kind of gives you a preview of what it looks like so you don't have to overthink anything. And I'm going to go ahead and hit add to saved themes. So right now it's installing for me. And what I'm going to do is, instead of me sitting here trying to figure out how do I do all this designing and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to go ahead and identify which parts of this particular theme do I want so that I can start getting the assets I need in order to design it. So since I currently have multiple themes down here already in play, I'm going to set this to be my live theme. So I hit set live theme. Once I do that, now instead of seeing the previous theme I had here, we're now able to see this particular theme and be able to edit it. So how do you get to editing? Where do you start? So right now at the very bottom, it's going to say home page. We're also going to hop to some of the other pages like the library, the member directory, what that would look like, the announcement area, the blog area. Ultimately, we're able to see all these different features that are already in existence from this particular theme. So I'm going to start with your home page to create your website. You're going to go to customize page. And once you click customize, it will then bring you to where you can actually edit this particular template. So let's kind of walk through what is included in this particular layout. We have a header, which whenever I kind of hover over that section, I can do two things. I can edit this here by plugging in my logo, or if I don't have a logo, plugging in my logo text and just replacing that information. And also I can edit the overall menu here. Now, let's say this menu is not properly correct. I'll show you in a few how you can get to navigations, but here's just a quick, easy way to do it too. You can go to edit your link list, but I'll also show you how to get to navigations from another way as well, in case that is not what you're looking to do at this particular moment. Okay, so now let's make our way back to our hero. This is our hero section, this area right here, hero. So you want to plug in your information, replace the image, and how you do that is each element under each section will be listed here on your left-hand side. To change the text, I'm just going to click on text. And now where it says hello and all of this information, I'm going to go in and replace it with my own information. Simple as that. Now, maybe you want to change the colors. Maybe you want to update that. Totally cool. You just come to your color palette that you've already updated and select the color that you're going to make changes to. Now, to change the background, because right now what you're seeing is a text and a call to action, but where's this picture at particularly back, like in the website? I don't see it. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down in that particular element section. So this is the section, the hero. We're going to scroll down, and where it says background image, we're going to select our image and replace it with a new file, either a uploaded new file or select a file that might already be in existence. Or we can change this media type and put video and replace it with a video that we have on file or upload a new video. Or we can just have absolutely nothing there and keep it very plain like this and not worry about having an image. So you can decide which one works best for you. And then once you've done that, hit save. Now, to update your call to action, this again falls into an element within that section. So you can either hover over it here, or you can basically update it here by clicking on it. Now, once you start to click on it, you can have your text, your preferred text, have it go to your URL. Maybe you want it to go to a landing page, a checkout, maybe a two-step opt-in, somewhere else. But from there, you are going to plug in that information. You can have it also go to a new window rather than it opening up in the same window if someone were to click this, learn more. You can also change the colors to your brand. You can change the width, the button style, the button size, even the radius, which is kind of the corners to make it look more curved or more square. And you can also then go through and update maybe the background color. Maybe there's a border for this particular area. So you can play with this to get it to your liking, but ultimately you can now start to make this look more like your brand versus having it look so like a Kajabi brand. You can now update this to where it's more customized. Now, if there's a section that you see, for example, there's tons of amazing sections here. This looks great, right? So if there's a section that you see and you're like, I really don't want to showcase this. So maybe I don't want to show my features, which is what you're seeing here. Maybe you're just getting started and you don't have any yet. One thing that you can do is you can go to hide. You can click those 3 dots. And then if I hit hide, now it's not showing. I don't have to worry about deleting it. Maybe I want to add it later, but for right now, I just need to keep it hidden because I don't have that feature yet. All you have to do is go to hide, which is those 3 buttons. And then if you want to show it again, you can just show it and voila, it's back. So just like you would for all of the elements that you saw up here, you would basically click on, you just hover over the elements you're looking to change and replace either those images, that text, and really make it your own. Now, if you ever want to change a background color for this particular section, which is the featured section where you see all these images right here, if you ever want to change a background color because maybe you don't have a video or an image or anything along those lines, your background color is always going to be found underneath where it says background video, background image. It's going to be at the very bottom where it says background color. And that's how you're going to be able to update this to your brand. Now, this is going to be the same exact thing. You can change these images. Maybe you have your own icons. You can change all the text by hovering over it, and you can update that to your liking. Now, what you might see when you're going through this, you might ask yourself, hey, instead of me actually having more about me here, I want to move it up here. I want it to be closer to my hero section. All you have to do is find these areas and kind of just move them around. So you can just hover over the 2 lines and then kind of drag them. So you got to hold it down, but then kind of drag them to where you want them to go. And then once you get it to your liking, you're rocking and rolling. So that's it for the home page. Once you're done with that, go ahead and hit save. And now you have customized the home page features. Now, if you don't want to change anything in your footer, you can leave it as is. But if you do want to change things in your footer, again, go ahead and hover over the footer or make your way down to where it says footer right here. This will allow you to be able to update your logo, your copyright, and even include a menu if you would like. You can do that all by adding content, and it will allow you to add links, social media, other things along those lines. Now, if there's something you're not seeing on your particular website and you're like, hey, you know what, this website is really just missing some of the things I need. I want to add video, I want to add other sections. All you have to do is go to add section, and then you can select what type of section you would like to include. It could be things that have to do with basic content, hero, features, marketing and events, images, audio, videos, offer and pricing, FAQ. You can go through and select what would be best and what would you like to add on to this particular page. So again, once you're done, always hit save. You're rocking and rolling now, and you're good to go. Now, if you want to start looking at some of the other pages that are going to go, along with your overall brand and your business, then you can come to this section at the very bottom of your left-hand side of your corner of your website in the corner, and you can select which page you now want to start editing. So maybe you want to edit your library, and you can start editing that. Maybe you want to edit your blog page, things along those lines. So I want you to come and select which pages you would like to start editing if you're going to use the website feature as a part of your business. Okay, so as you scroll down, you can kind of see, great, here's my courses. Maybe here's some information about my library, all that good stuff, but you can start to update this to where it is going to be the best for your overall business. Now, another way that you can get to this, if you choose not to go through it through the way I did, you can just basically go to this area, this arrow, and have it go to the right or the left. And for example, it now takes you to the library. And if you want to edit that page, you can. If you want to see like, hey, do I even need this page? Do I need a member directory? Then customize it. And then ultimately, just like you did for the home page, you're going to do something exactly the same, but you're just going to be able to see the pages beforehand and kind of play around with them until you get them to your liking. Okay, so now let's take a peek at some other things, because maybe you have this all set up and you're good to go, but like, how do I make changes to my navigation? How do I change the about, the contact, and things along those lines? So what you'll do is you're going to make your way to where it says website, and then you're going to go down to where it says navigation. Navigation now allows you to create your own menus. Maybe you want to include an about, maybe you want to rearrange the order of your navigation for your header or your footer, and you can start plugging in new navigations that are going to be a good fit for your overall business. Once you have that, I would recommend naming your new navigation. Come up with a name for it. So then when you're able to start looking for your navigation on your pages or on your website, it's really easy for you to quickly find these new navigations that you have created. You'll always find your custom menus that you created here. So just know, if you're looking and you're like, where's my stuff? It's always going to be under your custom menus whenever you create a new navigation. Okay, so let's hop to pages, because this is a really cool way for you to be able to quickly access your pages if you don't want to access them from the website point of view. In the website area, this allows you to quickly access all of those pages that we just went over, and then you can edit them. How you do that is you go by just clicking where it says customize, hovering over this little paint looking icon, you customize it, and then you're able to start getting into the places of where we were before. You can also preview this section, and some other fun things that you can do is you can edit the details, view the analytics, you can copy the URL and see in another window, and you can also modify code if you have that feature and you're able to do that. So I'm just going to go to edit details because I want to show you this feature. This is where you're going to change the URL, add the title of that actual page. This is what your customers will see. And then also, if you have any SEO that you want to add and include, you would add that here so that you don't have to worry about doing that later. So now let's make our way back to the website pages. So now this is where you're going to update everything here. You're good to go. But now let's make our way to landing pages. So maybe you don't want to necessarily utilize some of the website themes that Kajabi has provided. Maybe you're going to have multiple landing pages, and that's going to be a website. So for example, my own website is a ton of landing pages connected together. I do use some of the website features, but most of my pages are landing pages just because I am able to customize things a little differently than from the website features. So let's say you are going to have someone, let's just kind of look at this. You're going to have someone to make all of your website landing pages. Maybe you buy a template, something along those lines. You can upload all of your features, and you'll always be able to do an upload of your themes and your landing pages. And your right-hand corner at the very top, it will let you to be able to upload these proper features and start to see them here in the landing page area. Okay, so now let's scroll down. Let's get to it. Let's go to a new landing page. So let's go to new. It's going to be, again, in your right-hand corner at the very top. It's going to say new landing page or upload. You can either upload templates you have, or you can either start from what Kajabi has to offer. You can kind of pick some of those different options. So you can start from a blank scratch page if you want. So if you need to start from scratch, you can start with this blank page. If you need to go to sales, like say if you want to have a sales page and you want it to include information about a product or services and things like that, here are some of the sales options. If you want to showcase your podcast, here are some of the podcast options. Link in bio, thank you, all that good stuff, even opt-ins, and then coming soons. So there's a lot of different options you can choose from. So let's just browse through some of this stuff so you don't have to worry about adding it in until you're ready. So this is a podcast feature. This allows you to feature some of your different podcast episodes. And it's just a great way for you to be able to now utilize some of these different landing pages and connect the dots to your website, or utilize them as your main website. You can preview them. And then just like you would the actual website feature that I was showing you, you would just go to get started, plug in the name, and then you can start utilizing these features, editing them just like you would in the actual website area. Here's some website sales page information. Here's another kind of sales page style. Here's some, let's look at this podcast. So just great different options for you. So it makes it easy for you to get started. Whether you have a paid podcast or a free one, it's just great for you to be able to start to showcase your business. Thank you pages, opt-in pages, all of that. You can quickly get that. So select which page you want to have. And then once you have that, begin editing it like you would the website pages. But please note, you are not going to find those pages in website area. You're always going to find them under pages and then under the landing page area. Now, if you find that, hey, I don't want to use any of the website pages and I want to utilize my landing pages as my home page, I want it to be different than what is shown on this website area, what you're going to do is you're going to make your way to settings. You're going to go to site details. And when you go to site details, there's an area that says home page. You're going to instead select a landing page, and this landing page will allow you to choose whatever your landing page name is. And then you can utilize it as your home page rather than utilizing the website feature and having it go to the website homepage. So you'll just go to show landing page rather than show theme homepage. So now let's make our way back to the website section and let's go over blogs, because maybe you want to have a blog. So the first thing that you want to do if you're going to have a blog, new blog post, you'll click that button. And then whenever you click on new blog posts, you can add your video or your audio. If you don't have that, perfectly fine. You can add your podcast or your actual blog title. You can include all of your copy for your blog, your SEO, all of that good stuff. And so now you're able to get your SEO, all of that, and then publish it when you're ready, or set a specific date of when it's going to be released and include that blog image. So then if someone shares it, it will automatically showcase some sort of like mock-up or whatnot. Organizations with tags. If you have any tags, such as maybe you're categorizing your blog in a certain way, you can include those tags here and you hit save and you're good to go. Now let's talk about analytics, because this is one of my favorite features. This is where you're going to be able to really dive in deep to better understand if people are actually opening your program, buying your programs or your courses or your memberships. Are they opting into some of your pages? Are there great conversion rates on stuff? This really helps to walk you through how to ensure that your business is running efficiently. So you can see net revenue, subscription metrics, opt-ins, page views, product progress, offers sold, affiliates, so that you can really break this down and identify how well is your business doing. This helps you to be able to eventually scale your business. I know when I first started, I had no clue about a lot of my analytics, and I would do the guessing game and I would say, oh, I had a great launch, so everything went well, but I wasn't really analyzing everything from start to finish. And so it made it hard to really get the proper analytics that were needed in order to launch for future. So this has made it so much easier, and I promise you it will save you so much time and help you to grow and eventually scale your business. Okay, so let's get to products, because now you know how to create your website, you know how to get that going. Products is a really great way for you to sell your online courses, your memberships, all of that good stuff, your podcast, your coaching, which is a new feature, and it just allows you to be able to do all of that in one place. So let's look at your all products. All products is where you're going to have, when I go to new product, this is where we're going to have a mini course, an online course, a drip course, a membership, or a coaching program. Maybe it's group coaching, or you could possibly have a community. So with all of these different options, you can either start from a blank slate, or you can use the blueprints that Kajabi has provided you. And once you select which one works best, it will then start to input all of this information. So let me just get started with the mini course. Once I do that, I hit save, and now it's going to build out the product for me, and it's going to already have the overall kind of layout of what is needed in order to build out this mini course. Now, the really great part about all of this is that you're able to get this to your liking and customize a lot of these features. Okay, so now it is loaded, and now we can see the blueprint that Kajabi has provided. Now, from here, what we're going to do is we are going to make our way to the different lessons and modules and things along those lines, and we're going to edit them. So maybe we want to change this. We don't want it to say welcome aboard. We're going to just change the title. We're going to add in any media. So if there's not any media, we'll keep it at none. But if there is, we'll add in our videos, our audios, our assessments, and anything that needs to be added into the detail area. From there, if we have any downloadables that need to go with this particular lesson, audio or file or module, then we would go to add files. If there's any automation that needs to take place, we would add that below as well. And then post thumbnails. So this will be what is going to be showcased from the front end to help someone to know what this particular lesson is. And if you would like to have comments, you can make them visible, hidden, or locked. Once you're done with that, you're rocking and rolling, and you can hit the word save, and you can make your way back to some of the other different topics and start editing them for your online course, your coaching, or anything along those lines. Now, to customize the front end of your particular course, you're going to go to customize, and this will allow you to hit the word customize right here and update the overall layout of your course. So you can change either the header, which is what you're seeing here. You can change the sidebar. You can change the hero here. You can go to the welcome body, and it's all very similar to what you would do in the website feature of Kajabi. So how you add elements, things along those lines are going to be very similar. So let's just click on something real fast, just so I can show you. I'm going to go to the hero, and you can see that the hero is here. You can click unshow that hero, or you can keep it there, and you can update that background image. You can add some overlay, change the text, change the spacing, maybe even add some content to it. Maybe you want to add some more call to actions and offers and things like that. And so you would do all of that with just going to adding on more content. Okay, so some other ways you can quickly get to some of the other areas on your page. You can just go at the very bottom where it says announcement, categories, comments, and kind of search through what you want to update and edit. And then once you do that, always hit save once you're done so that you don't lose anything on your page. So now that you know how to edit your front end of your page, I want to just show you quickly how you can pick some other themes if for any reason you find that this theme is not for you. So Kajabi has some great themes that you can choose from, and ultimately it allows you to be able to pick something that's going to be a great fit for your brand, as you can see here. Okay, so now that we have that, let's now make our way to podcast. And we are going to now look at creating a podcast, which is a new feature on Kajabi. And I love it so much because you can now truly have everything all in one. So when you go to get started, this is if you don't already have a podcast in place. Maybe you don't have it on another platform. You're just getting started with episode 1. You would go to get started, and then you can do public podcasts or private podcasts. If you want to sell, you'll definitely go with the private podcast and add that subscription so people can be able to access that. If you want to do an import, you're going to hit import and grab the RSS feed URL here, and then hit continue, and you are rocking and rolling. Now, once you have that, you can then update your overall podcast image. You can include more information. So let's just hit free. When I go to continue, I can add my podcast title, who it's hosted by, the description, and then add a thumbnail for my podcast. Now let's make our way to coaching. Now that you know how to do products and podcast, all of that. In the coaching section, this is where you are going to now be able to add, if you do one-to-one coachings, maybe it's high tickets, maybe it's a one-off session or package, you can add this information in and hit continue. And then from there, connect your Calendly account, or you can connect the other calendars that you may have. So you'll start off by plugging in all of the content information here. Once you're done, hit continue. You can add your thumbnail, hit continue, and you can either connect to Calendly, a custom link, or manual booking. So it's up to you how you choose to go about that. But ultimately, once you're done, we're just going to click manual booking for right now, and then we'll hit finish. So now you can now go into this feature, this program, this coaching feature, and you can edit your details. Maybe you're going to have some details on what they're going to get in the coaching and walk them through all that information. You can change the primary color right here. And you can also add some upsells after their session is completed. Now from there, you can also change your session template. So maybe you want to include an agenda, some resources, things along those lines. You can all do that by adding add on item. And then once you add that item on, then you'll be able to name that item, add the resources, maybe it's a video, maybe it's a PDF, things along those lines, and hit save. And then offers, you want to add in your overall offer, which I'll share more about in our coming up section in the sales. But in the offers area, this is where you're going to put your pricing, and then you can preview that particular program. And here, when I hit preview, boom, this is what you see for the coaching feature. So this is really great if you're doing one-to-ones, and this is really awesome too if you are doing any high tickets and things like that, and you have a set schedule of what people are going to learn, and you can keep it all in one place. Okay, so now you know how to make products. Let's go to sales because we want to make some money here, right? So sales is a really great place for you to go ahead and plug in your one-time payments, your subscriptions, your payment plans, all that good stuff. This is where people are going to check out and ultimately enter into your products. So we're going to start off by going to where it says new offer. When I select new offer, you're going to want to plug in your title of your offer. And you're going to also want to plug in what they're going to get. So select the product that they're getting. And since I'm on a dummy account right now, it's not going to let me add in a payment feature. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and select free and hit create. From here, this is where you're going to plug in your internal information, a description about that product. Make sure the product that they're going to receive after they paid is properly here. You can do that by adding a product if you don't see it. If you have any upsells, maybe you're going to promote something after they check out, you can add that upsell here. If you want to have a cart reminder, you can edit that cart reminder feature to where it goes out in an hour if they put their email in but don't necessarily buy. And you can also add some automations, like send an email after someone were to actually opt in and purchase, or you can register them for an event. There's so many different options you can choose from. You can add tags, you can add coupons for them. So I want you to select what you would like for them to do when they sign up for your particular product, so you can have those conditions there. Now to change this, if you want it to be in draft mode because you don't want it out into the world, you can turn it into draft mode temporarily, or you can keep it at publish and you're good to go. For editing pricing, you're going to go to edit price, and you can go to one-time payment, multiple payments, reoccurring subscriptions, and then you can put some additional information here if you'd like. For your mock-up image, I would grab whatever mock-up image you have for your particular product, and I would select that image here and update it so that it does have a prettier look to your checkout. Now, limit offers. So maybe you have an expiration date, or maybe there is a limit to being able to purchase your product. Maybe you have a limit on coaching. So you can go ahead and plug in your limit quantity, and you can also plug in any expiration dates. Product access. Well, this is really great if you want to begin your product on a specific date. It lets people see that they have the product, but they can't necessarily join it until it's ready to be released. Maybe you have restricted access, so they can only be in this program for a certain period of time. And then once this time is up, they have to be removed from the product, and it will automatically take place by whatever date that you put in here. After purchase, maybe you're going to send a confirmation and you're going to use what Kajabi automatically sends out. You can utilize that here. You can also give affiliate commission. You can send out notifications to your team or yourself. And you can also add in a third-party email, which helps you to utilize maybe your other email service provider if you don't use Kajabi. And you can also send them to a specific thank you page, either plugging in some information here or selecting one of your landing pages that has a thank you page associated. All right, coupons. Now, this is a great way for you to increase your bottom line. So when you go to the coupon area, let's go back to sales. When I go to coupons, you can go to new coupon and literally set up, if you want to give a percentage off or a amount off, you can do all of that. And you can have like a repeating once or forever, and you can plug in expiration dates, if any. Once you're done, you're going to hit continue. And then from there, you're going to add in the products that are ultimately going to be part of this coupon. All right, so when I go back to offers, let's go back to our test October. We're going to go to edit checkout. And to update your overall checkout page, because you don't want to leave it bland, you are going to go to offer details, where you're going to be able to edit this information right here. You're going to be able to change that primary color so that this button's different. You're also going to be able to change the extra contact information, which is right here, and the service agreement if you have one, testimonials, which is something you can add, and a footer navigation, which is something you can add, and an order bump to help increase your bottom line if you have other products that you can offer. So I want you to go through and really customize this to your business and brand. And once you're done, hit save, so that now it doesn't look like just a dummy account. It looks like an actual branded checkout, and ultimately helps you to be able to close the deal with your customers. All right, now let's make our way to payments. So if you have not set this up, this is where you're going to need to connect your payments. But if you have, you're rocking and rolling, you can totally skip this part. Now, affiliates. If you are going to have an affiliate type of account, this is only if you have growth or if you have the pro. So if you have basic, unfortunately, you're going to have to upgrade, but affiliates will allow you to be able to set up your user commission, share your links, and all of that good stuff. It's a really great way for you to be able to get more sales by sharing with the people who already like and trust your brand and are willing to share it with their audience. So you're going to want to make your way to commission setup, share links, transactions, settings, and also announcements. And then when you're ready to see what the commission needs to be paid out for that month, you're going to go to exports, or you can just look at commission setup or transactions, and it will allow you to be able to see what your affiliates have generated this particular month. All right, marketing. This is where so many people are ready to just dive right in. So if you are new to email campaigns, maybe you are looking to do a broadcast or a full-on like email sequence after someone opts in. You have the option to choose. So let's get started with an email broadcast. This is where you might be sending out a weekly newsletter and things along those lines. When I hit continue, I can then select some of the different options that Kajabi provides, or I can use this blank feature and start from a simple page instead. Just like you would for all of the other pages in Kajabi, once I select something, let's just go ahead and get started. I selected this template, I hit create, and from here, I'm then going to identify who am I sending this to. Am I sending this to only members, a custom segment? And once I have that, I'm then going to hit save and continue and go to step 2. And now step 2 allows me to put my internal title, my subject, my preview text, and then I can go to launch email editor. So let me put in some text. And now I'm going to go to launch email editor. And from here, I am now going to edit this like I would the landing pages and things along those lines, and add any sections if need be. But I'm going to now hover over the sections and change it to my overall content and copy and design. Once you're done, hit save. And then from here, you're going to add in any automations if needed. And then the next step would be to hit save and continue. And you can now schedule out your post right away, schedule it for later, or keep it as draft and come back to it. Now let's look at actually making your email sequence. So email sequence is where you are going to have ongoing emails that trigger anytime someone opts into a form or they sign up for an event that you might have. So let's just go to testing. When I go to continue, I now can either use a classic editor, or I can select one of the different templates that Kajabi has. For right now, I'm just going to use classic editor just so I can show you. And what you'll do is if you want to have this email go out immediately, you're going to want to go ahead and put the number 0 on day. That just makes sure it goes out immediately. If you want to have it go out a certain time frame, like 1 or 2 or 3 days from now, you can just go to day and then change it to your liking. Add your titles, do that in the subject line as well, and then add the body. And once you're done, hit save. Now, the really great part is once you have this all in and you are rocking and rolling, you are going to be able to see that it will trigger automatically if you have the automations associated with it. so let's go ahead and hit save now. And now we have it going out on day 1. Maybe we want to go ahead and add some triggers. So if someone were to opt into a specific form, we can go to add trigger, and this will automatically take place. So when someone opts into a form, or if they receive a tag, we want them to then go to this email sequence and start receiving these emails automatically. And we can just hit save and go on from here. Now you'll start to see how many subscribers are in that sequence as they start to come in. You're going to see them here, and then you can keep adding emails. So maybe you're going to have 5 emails in this email sequence, or you're going to have 2 emails. You can start adding in all of your email features here, and then that makes it easy for you to be able to get your email sequence up and going and not have any moments to where it doesn't work properly. Now, don't be afraid to add some automation here. If you want to have people be removed from the list if they get a specific tag or click on a link, go ahead and add that in so that then you can make sure that you're measuring your stuff properly, and you're also removing people who don't need to be in an email list if need be. All right, settings. So let's hop to settings, and this is a really great way for you to plug in just some additional information. So maybe you want to exclude people if they were to offer or purchase an offer. Maybe you want to remove people if they fill out a specific form. So just go through this and update it accordingly so that you can ensure that you don't have all these people going through an email sequence that they don't need to go through. Okay, pipelines. This is also sales funnels. This is where you can utilize some of the amazing things that Kajabi already has in place for you, so you don't have to start from scratch. So we're going to go to new pipeline in the right-hand corner at the very top, and you can see the different features that Kajabi provides. So we have freebies, sales pages, product launches, all of that. And from here, you're going to select whichever one would work best for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the product launch OVO. And I can see that Kajabi is going to basically have an opt-in page for me. It's going to create some emails behind the scenes. It's going to have value pages that it's going to create and checkout. So I'm going to go ahead and hit create pipeline. And when I do that, I'm going to also identify what product am I going to sell. And now let's generate that pipeline and let Kajabi do its magic and build this baby out. So the really great part, as it's basically creating a pipeline and sales funnel for me, I want you to start thinking about what are you going to include on these pages? What are you going to say in copy? What are you going to include in videos? All of that good stuff, so that ultimately you are able to come right into this pipeline and get it done. Now, it might not happen in one day. Maybe you need to create content for it, but ultimately you can get this done in a faster period of time rather than having to spend days, weeks, months to figure out how to just update your overall pipeline. So you can come to the opt-in page, you can come to the emails that Kajabi is providing for you and just go through them and edit it. So how I go about editing it is by clicking on that particular item within the pipeline. And just like you would on all of the website pages and landing pages, you are going to be able to edit and add sections here. You're going to hover over things, but instead of your overall menu being on your left-hand side, it's going to be on your right-hand side. So just make your way to the right-hand side and start playing with the sections, hovering over things and adding them in. Okay. So there you have it. You can get started with pipelines in no time, and you can ultimately start selling your products. Okay, so now let's look at automation. This is where if you have a ton of automation, you are going to definitely want to plug in all of that stuff. But just know if you create automation in other areas, it will automatically show here. So you don't have to sit and update automation all the time, but you can add new automations. So if someone were to do a specific thing, when they do this, then something's going to happen, and that will help to ensure that your automations are fully set up. Events. So this is a really great way for you to get an event, maybe an evergreen webinar, or maybe you're going to have an event where it's going to trigger out some emails. You can set up an event by typing in the title of whatever that event is. And then from here, time zone of the event, when will it occur? Is this going to be a repeat? For right now, I'm not going to have it at repeat. I'm just going to go ahead and hit save though. And you can start adding in emails like before this event, I want them to receive this email. After this event, I want them to receive this email. Now, the thing about this is sometimes you can't see the analytics behind who opened it, who clicked on the email, who did what. So if you want to keep that in your actual live broadcast or in your sequences, perfect. But if you're not sure and you're just open to utilizing this particular area because you want to keep it all in one place, then go ahead and plug in your event details here. And as you can see, this all takes place below and we're rocking and rolling. So from here, once you're done, you're going to hit save and you can add in emails and then add in the save button and you're rocking and rolling. Now you're good to go. Okay, so now let's go to forms. Forms is where you're going to create your forms for opt-ins. So if you need to create a new form, you're just going to go to the right-hand corner at the very top, hit new form, and you can plug in that title, hit save. And then from here, you can have an option to have double opt-in or single opt-in. If you do double opt-in, it's going to ask you, what do you want to send for people to do this double opt-in? If you don't, you're just going to go ahead and hit single opt-in. You're also going to want to plug in the form fields that you're going to want. So you can add in new form fields if you want more than just a name and an email. If you have any automation that's going to take place, maybe once they opt into this particular form, they're going to go to an email sequence or they're going to be registered for an event. Go ahead and plug that in so it can properly trigger. And then you can send yourself a notification. You can add a third-party email party provider, and you can also do a thank you page rather than just getting a generic thank you page from Kajabi. So once you're done, hit save. And then for you to be able to preview this, which you're not going to really need it, but you can kind of see what it would look like if you were to have all these different features and whatnot. Okay, so now let's look at people. Because now you have people coming into your particular forms. This is exciting. Now, this is where you're able to look at your contacts, manage your tags, and see what they're doing. Maybe they're in a specific program or they are opting into different forms. What you want to do is let's click on an actual person, which is me for right now. And ultimately, you can see their life cycle. You can learn about their info, their purchases, their products, and you can even create some notes to help you to better understand who this person is, what they opted into, and you can even see the tags associated so that you can really learn more about them. If you need to edit their details, you'll go to edit details. And if you need more actions, such as maybe hide this customer, grant offers, maybe hide the products that you have given them, or remove some of their information, you're going to just go to delete contact or grant offers or hit hide. So there you have it. You have the people section going. Now let's take a look at this last part, which is your assessments. So assessments are great ways for you to add quizzes and things along those lines for your courses, your programs, and whatnot. Once you have your assessment that you would like to include, you're just going to go to new assessment, plug in the title, the description, if any. If you want to have it automatically graded, cool. If not, just hit save. And now from here, we are going to be able to plug in any questions we have. We can also start to plug in language that we want to happen once they complete this particular option. And then we're going to edit questions. And you can add in a series of questions here in Kajabi. Like you can go to multiple choices, paragraphs, upload a file, multiple selections, all of that good stuff. You can do all of that here in this assessment area. So this is really great if you want to utilize it for coaching, if you want to be able to utilize this for just quizzes to ensure that people are on the right path within your products. You can do all of that right here. Okay, so there you have it. Here is the full walkthrough of how to use Kajabi step by step. I hope that these details really help you to get on this platform and get up and running in no time, so you're not wasting time trying to figure it out on your own. So if you are new to Kajabi, let me know in the comment section below how you're utilizing Kajabi and what features you plan to utilize first. And if you've already been using Kajabi, tell me what are some of your favorite features on this platform today. Thanks so much for watching this video, and make sure you access your trial to Kajabi and those free amazing resources that we have for you, such as the pre-designed landing pages and the mini course on how to launch your first course in just 30 days. Okay, I'll see you in some of the upcoming videos.